Hello, students. Welcome back to ELA. Okay, so today what we're going to be doing is we are going to be planning a foursquare. This foursquare is going to help us plan out our essay. Okay, the reason why we use this foursquare is because it allows us to make connections. Making connections is one of the most important parts of your essay. When it comes to looking and grading your essay, one of the sections on the rubric that we use is there's a part that says that the student was able to make connections to the prompt to something else. Okay, so we all know that to make connections, we can use text to text, text to world, and text to self. Okay, so that's three, right? But it is called a foursquare. So then in the first square, that is where we are going to have our thesis. The thesis is going to tell the reader what the whole idea of your essay is going to be about. Okay, so looking back at our prompt from yesterday, which is write an essay explaining how a person's character can help overcome adversity. So to start off, we're going to start off with our thesis. So usually with the thesis, I tell students that we're going to write our thesis basic, okay? So we're writing about how a person's character can overcome adversity. So I'm just going to start with that simple frame. A person's character can help overcome adversity because blank and blank. Oops. Okay. So what exactly goes in these blanks? We are going to look back at our prompt. So here we have some positive characteristics that we thought about. Brave, honest, compassionate, determined, miserable. Okay. So the tone of this essay that I want to have is a positive tone. So I want to use words that are going to reflect that. Okay. So I'm going to use brave and determined, okay, from my list. So I'm going to come back over here and say a person's character can help them overcome adversity because they can demonstrate bravery and determination. Okay, so this here is my simple somatic statement. Okay, so your thesis is going to come at the beginning of your writing. But we all know that in order to help grasp the reader's attention, we got to have a hook. Okay, but we're not going to worry about the hook right now. All I want us to worry about right now is our thesis statement. Okay, so my reasons here or my examples that I'm going to talk about in my essay are going to be how bravery is going to help overcome adversity. So that's my reason number one. And then I'm also going to talk about how determination is going to help a person overcome a challenge, right? Another thing to remember, adversity, overcoming adversity. We don't want to keep repeating this throughout our essay. So once we go back to revise, we're going to have to think of other words that mean adversity. So we can use the challenge, their struggle, whatever, okay? So now I'm going to think here. what we want to do first is we want to be able to fill in our text to text and our text to world first. The reason why I say first is because sometimes when students are making a connection to the prompt with themselves, students usually start transitioning into writing a personal narrative, which is not what we want. We want you to keep to the explaining part, okay? You can use a text to self as a short little anecdote, an example, but this whole thing is not written from your perspective, okay? That's another thing to keep in mind. We just want to explain without being biased, without giving our opinion, because this is not a persuasive or an argumentative. We're just explaining, okay? So here we go. So I'm going to make a connection to against the odds, okay? So I'm going to say here, I'm going to use that Sully demonstrated bravery, okay? So I'm going to say in the short informational essay, captain, see a captain or pilot. And in the informational essay, against the odds, pilot Sully had to think fast and remain calm when he realized that the plane's engine had died, basically. The plane was able to make a safe but bumpy landing in the Hudson, capital letter, Hudson River. When the water began filling up the plane, comma, because that is a complex sentence. I need to go back over here because this is a possessive. The plane's engine. When the water began filling up the plane, comma, Sully and his co-pilot stayed in the plane until they knew that every single person had made it out safely. If it weren't for Sully's quick thinking and bravery, some of the miracle on the Hudson may not have had such a happy ending. Okay. So while you're also here, this is where you want to go back and kind of look at your spelling, look at to see if there's anything you can change. Now, this here is not going to be enough to make your paragraph. Just keep that in mind. You're going to have to add just a little bit more, okay? But notice here, you have already made one connection to a text against the odds. Now, maybe the person or your audience is not going to know what against the odd is. Maybe they're not even going to know who Sully is, but I can guarantee that they may be familiar with the miracle on the Hudson. It was a big story back when this happened not too long ago. Okay, so I have already used my bravery. So now the next one that I'm going to use is determination. So I am going to use, at this point, let's see, what have we read? We have read Against the Odds. We've read The Black Sunday. We watched, what else? Oh, Bethany Hamilton. And then we have our quotes. So I'm going to do a text to world first. So I am going to use the connection of Bethany Hamilton. Okay, so I'm going to say text to world. And I'm going to start with my little transition. So I'm going to say, does the name Bethany Hamilton ring a bell? So essentially, you guys, what we're doing here is we're basically formatting and writing your paragraphs. Okay, so when you are filling out your Foursquare, you really want to take as much time, reasonable time, to fill this out. The more you're able to fill into this Foursquare, the easier it's going to be to transition onto your document where you're going to have your essay. Okay, so does the name Bethany Hamilton ring a bell? Does the movie Soul Surfer ring a bell? If not, the story of Bethany Hamilton has become a very popular story about a young girl who lost her arm in a gruesome, I don't know if I'm spelling this, gruesome, let's see, spell check, we'll get it. Nope, not foursome. Let me see. Well, I don't know how to spell, so if I don't know how to spell, I'm just going to pick another word. Horrendous. And a horrendous shark attack. My God, I can't even spell today. Shark attack. This caused her to stop what she loved doing, which was surfing. With the support from her family and her personal determination, she was able to get back in the water and relearned how to surf. But this time, she had to learn how to surf with one arm. Her accident, let's say, Bethany Hamilton stated that she would have still allowed the shark to bite her because it gave her a new perspective on life. Okay, so here I am. I have two examples of my text to text. Okay, so I have, I'm going to underline. And then I am going to come over here and look at my text to self. Okay, so in my text to self, let me see, bravery and determination. For me, overcoming adversity, my challenge. Okay, so I'm going to relate this right now to this current time of our coronavirus pandemic. So I'm going to say, being a teacher during the pandemic has really made me change the way I run my daily routines in my classroom. As all of us are, I was terrified to be returning back into the classroom while the cases are still rising. I had to demonstrate being brave to my own children and reminding them that everything will be okay when they return to campus. I've also had to demonstrate proper precautions when it comes to this pandemic. Yes, it has been a difficult time, but it has allowed me to show how this virus can't stop me from doing what I love. Okay. So now, while we have made all of these different connections, it's still not quite enough to get us our paragraphs. It's going to be super short, okay? So on our next lesson, I am going to show you how to properly formulate that first paragraph, which is going to be with your thesis, okay? Because we can't just start with a person's character can help overcome adversity because they can demonstrate bravery and determination and then go in. So there's more steps, you guys, and they will be coming to you in the next lesson. Bye.